A very good evening to you all, good afternoon or good morning, depending where you are across the world, and welcome to the Commentary Hub's coverage of the Premier League encounter. Big London derby is Chelsea against Arsenal. Some big teams for Arsenal, which we'll get from Paul James very, very shortly. As you can see, the two benches going across the bottom. Obviously, you'll see the full teams in just a moment. But let me just run you through some earlier scores from the Premier League today, which all these three games kicked off at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0. Nottingham Forest 1, Newcastle United 3. And this is a shock. It is Tottenham Hotspur 1, Ipswich Town getting their first win of the season in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Ipswich Town 2. And Ipswich Town were 2-0 up in that game, thanks to early goals from Semi Smodics and Liam Delap. Bentancur put a goal back on 69 minutes for Spurs, who had a goal to around ball by Dominic Solanke just after the half-time interval. The goal scorers in the game for Manchester United against Leicester in their 3-0 win was Bruno Fernandes, Victor Christensen own goal, and Alejandro Garnacho got on the score sheet as well. And down at the City ground, the scorers in that game were Murillo for Nottingham Forest to put them 1-0 up. Alexander Isak equalised just after half-time on 54 minutes. 72 minutes, Joe Linton scored to make it 2-1, and then Harvey Barnes sealed the deal with 7 minutes remaining. So that's finished there. In the Championship, a couple of early results in that one, and a latest score there as well. In the Steel City derby at 12:30 today, it finished Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Also in the Championship, it kicked off at 1 o'clock. Hull City 1, West Bromwich Albion 2. Boos of full time from the Hull City fans in that game. And on 64 minutes in the Championship, from Turf Moor, is Burnley 0, Swansea City 0. In the Scottish Premiership, just quickly saying the latest score in that game, the game which kicked off at 3 o'clock, 62 minutes on the clock, Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1. Rangers take on Hearts at 5 p.m. this evening. We'll keep you up to date with that score later, plus other games around Europe and also the Championship score as well. So with the teams about to emerge from the tunnel, just one final thing for me to do, just say a good afternoon to Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. He says, good afternoon Russ, Paul and everyone in the commentary hub. Come on you Gunners. And he says, fantastic results for the Tracked Boys of Ipswich there against Tottenham Hotspur. It was a fantastic game, and if you've not seen them yet, two fantastic goals from Ipswich Town, especially the first one, overhead kick from Sammy Smodics. Brilliant piece of full work from the former Blackburn Rovers man. Well then, we kick off fast approaching then at Stamford Bridge with the teams about to emerge from the tunnel. It's time for me to hand over to match commentator for this big one, who's another and a very good friend, Mr. Paul James.
Thank you, Russ, and welcome everybody for this afternoon's clash at Stamford Bridge. An all-important game for Arsenal if they want to keep in touch with the Championship title race. With Liverpool's victory yesterday and Manchester City slipping up, this is a huge game for both teams at the top of the table. The big changes, well, of course, Chelsea have only made one change. Mark Cucurella comes in for Reece James. For Arsenal, the big change, of course, is the return of captain Martin Odegaard. Leandro Trossard makes way for him, and Mikel Moreno steps aside for Ben White. So let's take a look at the starting lineup, starting with Chelsea, who are managed by Enzo Maresca. They start with Robert Sanchez in goal, Mark Cucurella, Levi Colwill, Wesley Fofana and Malo Gusta are your back four. The two holding midfielders are Romeo Lavia and the captain Moises Caicedo. The three playing behind Nicholas Jackson is Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer and Noni Madueke behind the forward Nicholas Jackson. For Arsenal, they've reverted back to their usual 4-3-3 played under Mikel Arteta. They have David Raya in goal, Jurrien Timmer keeping his place despite a poor performance against Newcastle. Gabriel, William Saliba and Ben White are the other defenders. The three in midfielders are Ben White, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey and the captain Martin Odegaard. with Gabriel Martinelli, Kai Havertz, and Bukayo Saka. The substitutes for Chelsea is Philip Jorgensen, Tosin Adarabioyo, Benoit Badiashile, Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, Mikhailo Mudryk, Renato Vega, João Felix, and Christopher Nkunku. For Arsenal, their backup goalkeeper Nato on loan from Bournemouth, Jakub Kiwior, Alexander Zinchenko, Jorginho, Mikel Morena, Miles Lewis Skelly, Ethan Nwaneri, Gabriel Jesus, and Leandro Trossard. The two teams have met each other a total of 209 times, 66 wins for Chelsea, 59 draws, and 84 wins for Arsenal. Another statistic of note is that Chelsea have only won one in the last 10 against the Gunners. Excuse me. The referee today is Michael Oliver. He's age 39 from Northumberland. Stuart Bird and James Mannering are on the lines. The fourth official is Andy Madley. Paul Tierney and Richard West are in Stockley Park should we need them today. A couple of comments in the comment section. Afternoon, Paul. Really crucial match for the Gunners if they want to win the title this year. Important match for the host Chelsea as well. This is absolutely true. And we'll wait and see whether we are going to see any kind of a response from Arsenal today, who are on the back of some pretty poor results recently, including a controversial 1-0 defeat in the week to Internazionale. We're going to stop in just a few moments' time to take a minute's silence to, of course, remember the fallen in past wars and more recent conflicts. In just a moment's time, we're just waiting for that. The two teams just gathering around each other, just doing their final preparations. Well, Chelsea on the back of some pretty inconsistent performances recently as well. They only have 2 wins in 5, same with Arsenal. You can reverse that for Chelsea as 1 defeat in 5, though. For Arsenal, 2 in 5. As we are just getting the final preparations now, we're going to take a moment's silence now while we remember the lost who bravely served their lives and made the ultimate sacrifice. A grateful nation remembered, and we are about to get this game underway. You could hear a pin drop in this stadium. Perfectly well respected. And we are about to get the game underway here at Stamford Bridge. We really have an interesting game on our hands here. It's basically 4th versus 5th. And the game that we have for you is going to play a key role, I think, in the title race coming towards the end of the season, as Chelsea will make that deep challenge themselves, also hoping to try to make some inroads into the top 4. For Arsenal, runners-up the last 2 years, will this year be the year? Well, the recent form doesn't suggest so. But we'll see as the season goes on. Of course, it seems ridiculous to talk about a title being over in November, but these days now you almost need 90 to 100 points to win the league. So you can ill afford more than 2 defeats really in a season. Well, Arsenal will get the game underway. They're attacking the goal to our right in their red and white jerseys, white shorts and red socks. Chelsea in their blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks. We just wait for Michael Oliver's whistle. As he blows the whistle, and we are underway as Declan Rice plays it all the way back to David Raya, who lays it short for Ben White. Ben White lifts the ball over the top, looking for the chasing Kai Havertz. The header is won there by Levi Colwell. It's cleared away, and it drops back there to Gabriel, just inside his own half of the field. And once again, he drops it back to the goalkeeper, who releases it to Saliba. Saliba forward to Odegaard, gets his first touch after he's back from injury. Boy, oh boy, have Arsenal missed him. Let's see if he can have an immediate impact on his comeback, or whether this may take a little longer. The ball is played forward long, looking for the chasing Kai Havertz. But Robert Sanchez comes out and clears that, and David Raya having to come out and make a header there just to get the ball away from Nicholas Jackson, who was closing in very quickly. And it's dropped back by Moises Caicedo. He's the captain for Chelsea today. Cole Palmer now just going back towards his own goal, and drops it back to Colwell again. And Colwell just holds the ball up. It's played forward. Oh, it's a giveaway there by Chelsea. And here's Gabriel Martinelli now, just trying to get away from Moises Caicedo. But good work by the Chelsea midfielder. He holds up the ball there and goes down under the challenge of Gabriel Martinelli. And it's going to be a free kick for Chelsea. And it's back with the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. And there's a good ball played out to Cucurella. Cucurella plays it forward. It was left by Cole Palmer, but now Arsenal win the ball back, and the ball is played out to Kai Havertz, but it's won back by Colwell. Colwell is dispossessed though, and Chelsea win the ball back again as both teams giving the ball away early on here. That's a really good ball over to Noni Madueke over on the right-hand side. Noni Madueke's got space in front of him now. He plays the ball forward now to Gusto. Gusto tries to get the cross in, but it's a poor one, and it's cleared away by Thomas Partey out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in to Chelsea. The throw-in is taken quickly. It's thrown straight to Caicedo. Caicedo, here's Lavia. Lavia drops the ball to Cole Palmer. So dangerous from these positions. It's Palmer with a shot! Oh, flipped over the crossbar by David Raya. A super save. Well, Cole Palmer just so dangerous from these positions. About 25 yards out, he let this one rip. It's a super save by David Raya, getting his gloves stung early in this one. 2.5 minutes gone. It's Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. And you can see here there was some movement on that shot. Super save by David Raya. It's going to be a corner to Chelsea, which Cole Palmer will take. An early warning sign by Chelsea fired at Arsenal's defence. It's going to be Cole Palmer. Out swings it, and it's just headed out there, really only just by Kai Havertz. It's now with Thomas Partey. He plays the ball forward. Chasing this one is Martinelli, but cutting back well is Malo Gusto, and just sends the ball back to the goalkeeper. And that's a good piece of defending there. And here's Caicedo. Colwell, England international, drops the ball back to Cucurella. Cucurella drops the ball there back to Lavia. Lavia, midway inside his own half. He's got options left and right. Arsenal going to have to watch Cole Palmer. We tried to find him there, but that was intercepted by Ben White, who gets it back to David Raya, who clears the ball downfield. And it goes back into the Chelsea half, and they pick it up. It's scrappy stuff early on here. And Wesley Fofana plays the ball to Levi Colwell. Colwell just puts his foot on the ball, tries to slow things down a bit. Tried to find Moises Caicedo there. Romeo Lavia had to win the ball back. And it's picked up by Nicholas Jackson. He plays the ball down the right-hand side. And away goes Christopher Nkunku. Nkunku holds the ball up, overlapping his Gusto. It's good work by Nkunku. Here is Casado, back to Lavia. Palmer. Colwell. Fofana, just inside his own half of the field. Fofana, back to Colwell. Holds the ball up well, gives the ball to Cucurella. Cucurella, just inside his own half. Chelsea's slowing this game down right now. And it's Levi Colwell. It started at 100 mile per hour. Lots of giving the ball away by both teams early on. Very scrappy stuff. Here is Cucurella across there to Fofana. And Fofana just drops it back to Colwell. Colwell plays the ball forward to Cole Palmer. Palmer off on his way now, away from Thomas Partey. Palmer plays the ball across there to Gusto. Gusto gets a shot away. It's blocked well there by Jurrien Timmer. And the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to the Blues. And it's taken quickly by and gives the ball to Casado. Casado, nice pass across there to Lavia. Here's Cucurella now overlapping. Gives the ball now down to Neto. Pedro Neto holds the ball up. Back to Cucurella. Slow build up this by Chelsea. It's Lavia again. Plays the ball across to Casado. And it's a good ball by Casado. Gets the ball back. He lifts the ball over the top looking for Nkunku. And Nkunku is unable to keep the ball in play. And that rolls out of play for a throw-in to Arsenal. We've had 6 minutes gone here. It's Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. A match so desperately that both teams need to win. And I want to thank you very much for joining us for this huge game. You can see the team lineups there on your screen. And the substitutes are going across the bottom on a ticker. Be interesting to see what kind of tactical manoeuvres each manager will play today. What substitutes they will use as the game goes on. The ball is long downfield, headed out of play by Jurrien Timmer, and it's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea. Midway inside the Arsenal half of the field, down the right-hand side. Here's Casado. Excuse me. Drop back into his own half there to Colwell. Here's Cucurella. Cucurella drops the ball back to Colwell again. Across there now to Fofana. Fofana over the halfway line. He gets the ball back there off Gusto. Fofana holds up the ball. He's inside the centre circle here to Colwell. As Chelsea just knocking the ball around here, but not really going anywhere. They're being pressed back now by Arsenal as Cucurella, under pressure by Saka, has to return the ball to Robert Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. He plays the ball forward, looking for Gusto, and Gusto has given the ball away. Here's Odegaard. Nice pass by Odegaard to Kai Havertz. Now it's over on the left-hand side to Gabriel. Gabriel tries to get the cross in. It's come off Fofana and goes behind for a corner to the Arsenal. And, well, so dangerous are Arsenal from these set pieces. Gabriel will make his way in there. Of course, the all too familiar lineup at the back post on the corner of the 6-yard box. And Gabriel will move in last minute. But the corner is going to be taken on the left-hand side by the number 41, Declan Rice, for the Gunners. As it's, you can see that Chelsea are going to have to mark up very well here because Arsenal are very adept from these set pieces. You can see Pedro Neto marking Gabriel very closely there. The corner is going to be swung in now by Declan Rice, so it's a poor one, and it doesn't even reach anybody. It just goes straight out of play. The corner is going to be retaken. Kai Havertz is going down and complaining. Casado tells him to get up and shut up. And the corner is going to be taken again, I think, because it didn't even reach the 6-yard box. It just went straight out of play. We're just going to see exactly what's happening here, because now the referee has called Kai Havertz over, and well, this is all really rather silly. Let's just get on with the game. You can see there that Kai Havertz is just making a nuisance of himself over there, with Romeo Lavia trying to explain to the referee what's going on. Neither of these two are captains, so they shouldn't be talking to the referee really anyway. So just get on with the game. And it's going to be a corner again, which Declan Rice will have the opportunity to take once more. And Declan Rice now. This time is in a better one. Flicked on. And, well, it's bouncing around there. Finally, it's cleared away by Cucurella, but only as far as Declan Rice again. He swings across it. Does Rice says Gabriel with a header. Oh, it's blocked. Comes back out there to Ben White with a shot, but that is also blocked, this time by Casado. Here is Declan Rice again. And Noni Madueke now just cuts across and steals that ball from Declan Rice like he wasn't even there. Here's now Casado. Casado plays the ball down to the left-hand side, and it's Cole Palmer just in a deep position there. And he plays the ball across to Levi Colwell. Colwell gives the ball to Cucurella. Drops the ball back to Colwell. Colwell holds the ball up now. He's just going to play the ball back to the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. Inside the D, he releases the ball to Casado. Plays the ball now to Colwell. Colwell, midway inside his own half of the field. He's got options left and right. He decides to go for the long one, looking for Noni Madueke, and what a super ball that was. Right to the feet of Noni Madueke. Madueke cuts inside, gets the shot away, and it's blocked, I think, by Jurrien Timmer, and it'll go behind for a Chelsea corner now. End-to-end stuff at Stamford Bridge. 10 minutes gone. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. And I want to thank you very much for taking your... for joining us today, spending some of your valuable time with us. We definitely appreciate that. If you like what you're hearing, please hit the subscribe and the like button. Maybe drop a comment in the live chat. I'll read it out. As long as it's clean, that's all we ask. Please keep it clean. Corner by Cole Palmer, swung in. Oh, coming up and claiming that ball was David Raya with authority. And he releases that really, really quickly into the Chelsea half of the field. Bukayo Saka chasing it, but Robert Sanchez meets him and just wins the ball ahead of him. And right now, it looks like, I'm just trying to say, I think that's Levi Colwell there, just limping at the moment. Looks in a lot of pain. He came up for the challenge. Looks like he clattered there with David Raya when David Raya was trying to take the goal kick. Hopefully for him, it'll just be an impact knock and nothing major. David Raya has been awarded the free kick for that. It's considered interference. So here is Gabriel now for Arsenal. Gabriel releases the ball there to Martinelli. Drops the ball back to Gabriel. Martinelli in a deep position here. He gets the ball back there and plays the ball forward. Chasing this one down is Jurrien Timmer. And cutting across well is a wonderful challenge there by Wesley Fofana. And he just got his foot on that, put the ball out of play. It's a throw-in for Arsenal, level with the Chelsea penalty area down the left-hand side. And it's going to be taken by Jurrien Timmer. He's looking for Kai Havertz. Unfortunately for him, it goes over Havertz's head, but he keeps it in play. And I think it looks to me there like he played it off Malo Gusto. That really probably should have been a corner, but instead it's given as a goal kick. Let's take a look at this again. Yes, that came off Malo Gusto. That should have been a corner, but goal kick has been given. And it's Robert Sanchez now with the goal kick. And he takes it short, gives it to Fofana. Played forward looking for Palmer. Here's Jackson. Jackson holds the ball up well. Oh, good interception that time by Bukayo Saka. Gets the ball to Saliba. Saliba gives the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice holds the ball up and gives it to Saliba again. Saliba down to Ben White. He gives the ball to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard plays the ball to Thomas Partey. He's got Saka overlapping on the right-hand side. Saka's got Ben White following up. Ben White with a cross to the back post and headed away by Gusto. Only as far there as Timmer. Timmer holds the ball up. He goes down under the challenge. No free kick, says the referee. Here's Nicholas Jackson now trying to go the other way, but that's a really good challenge by Gabriel and a free kick to Arsenal. And Thomas Partey takes it quickly, and Kai Havertz now gets the ball to Bukayo Saka. And the ball is down the right-hand side now with Saka. Can he get to the byline? He tries to cut inside and get the shot away, but it's blocked by Cucurella and goes out of play for a throw-in, as this game is going now at 100 miles an hour. And Ben White has a throw-in now for Arsenal. Throws it to Odegaard. Odegaard drop back to White. Odegaard may take a while to get himself back to his full capability. He's had a quiet start to this game. And here is Saliba. Saliba to Gabriel. Across to Declan Rice. He plays the ball out onto the left-hand side to Gabriel Martinelli. He's got Gusto in front of him. Martinelli cuts inside. Is he fouled there? The referee says no. He drops it back there to Declan Rice, who gives the ball to Gabriel. Rice. Partey. Rice again. Here's Martinelli. Martinelli tries to play the ball to Rice again. He's got to the byline as Rice. He's not able to get the cross in right now. He cuts back and he's looking for options. There doesn't appear to be anybody there. He finally finds Jurrien Timmer, who's coming up from the back. Here's Declan Rice again. Declan Rice this time swings a long ball over to Bukayo Saka, and that's a good interception by Mark Cucurella, who read that ball very, very well. Tries to set off Pedro Neto on his way, but Neto runs the ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. Good challenge there by Martin Odegaard as well. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And here's Gabriel. Gabriel drops the ball back there to the number 2, William Saliba. Saliba holds the ball up to Thomas Partey. Partey back into the centre circle to Saliba, over to Gabriel on the far side. He plays the ball now down onto the left-hand side. Gusto has got Martinelli in front of him. Drops the ball back there to Gabriel, who gives the ball to Saliba. Saliba back to Gabriel. He's got Martinelli over on the left-hand side. Martinelli once again now has got the challenge of Gusto. Martinelli cuts inside, tries to get away from Gusto, but drops the ball back to Gabriel again. Partey to Timmer. Partey plays the ball across to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard looking for options left and right, gives the ball to Bukayo Saka. Odegaard gets the ball back, takes it back into his own half, turning away from Cole Palmer. And Martin Odegaard again, he goes a super long ball looking for Gabriel Martinelli that time, and Martinelli was muscled out of the play there. But it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal for the foul on Martin Odegaard by Caicedo. And Caicedo looking like he may receive a booking here. And Martin Odegaard is just getting back up onto his feet now. Interesting challenge. I mean, it didn't look too bad. But, well, the referee is going to give a free kick. And Palmer and Noni Madueke conversing with the referee. Odegaard back on his feet. And having a chat with referee Michael Oliver. And finally, we're going to get a free kick taken here. Gabriel Martinelli just lays it off for Martin Odegaard. Odegaard to Timmer. Timmer to Martinelli now. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Martinelli cuts back. Across there to Timmer. Timmer to Martinelli. Martinelli, can he get the cross in? No, that's blocked that time by Caicedo. And somehow Caicedo runs the ball out of play. I think it might have come off Martinelli. I think it's going to be a throw in here for Chelsea, but we have 18 minutes gone, and it's Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0 at Stamford Bridge. And you can see Mikel Arteta there, just giving his instructions. See what's going to happen here. In fact, the referee, it's gone behind for a goal kick. I thought that had gone out of play. It's a goal kick anyway, and it's taken short to the goalkeeper Sanchez. Sanchez clears the ball downfield. Not very effective though, only finds Gabriel. Gabriel now making a run down the left-hand side, tries to cross it into the box. Levi Colwell had plenty of time, but he hooked it away. And now here is Caicedo to Palmer. Palmer storming over the halfway line, gives the ball to Neto. He's got Jackson in the middle. Neto, if he can hurry up here. Jackson gets across to the back post, and there's a header by Nkunku. But it goes behind for a goal kick, as once again Chelsea looking very dangerous on the break there. And it started from the beginning from Cole Palmer. He gets the ball there to Neto. Neto goes to the back post to Nkunku, whose header is wide. and it's a goal kick. And so just keep you updated on some of the other scores. We know there's a game going on in the Championship between Burnley and Swansea City. We'll update you on that score. David Raya is going to clear the ball downfield. And it's forward to Bukayo Saka. But it's dispossessed now, and here's Lavia. Lavia gives the ball to Cole Palmer. Palmer gets across him, but it's straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, David Raya. And they're just about finished at Turf Moor there in 4 added minutes of stoppage time. It's still 0-0 there. And the ball is now been given away by Arsenal, and here's Nicholas Jackson. Gives the ball to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer tries to play the ball through to Nicholas Jackson, but that's a better piece of defending by William Saliba, and now Ben White just sends it back to the goalkeeper David Raya, who launched the ball downfield. And Kai Havertz tries to win the ball back. He does. He successfully gets it to Bukayo Saka, and Bukayo Saka is brought down by Levi Colwell, and I think we're going to see the first yellow card of the game. Indeed we are. Levi Colwell for the foul on Bukayo Saka on 21 minutes. First yellow card of the game. And you can see here it's a late challenge, mistimed challenge there on the Arsenal forward. It's the third yellow card of the season for Levi Colwell. Of course, if he gets 2 more, he is suspended. And it's a free kick for Arsenal. It's a good 40 yards out, I would say. There is a penalty at Turf Moor, apparently, for handball. We'll see how that all plays out. But here is Declan Rice. He's going to take this free kick now. He's just waiting. There's a delay here. We're waiting for Michael Oliver to sort things out. And it's taken by Declan Rice. He swings the ball in, but it's punched out by Robert Sanchez, and it lands at the feet of Nicholas Jackson. Jackson's ball is short and only finds Bukayo Saka, and now here's Martin Odegaard. And all of a sudden, is there a foul there on Nicholas Jackson? It was very much 50-50, but we will see. And it is Michael Oliver, in fact, who has blown up a free kick here. As we take a look at the ball in there, which Robert Sanchez might have been better just claiming that, actually. Instead, he opts to punch it out, which really led to that situation. Rodriguez has scored the penalty for Burnley, so it's Burnley 1, Swansea 0 in injury time. Looks like they'll steal the 3 points there, as the ball is played forward, but it's picked up by Moises Caicedo. And Caicedo plays it to Nkunku down the right-hand side. Christopher Nkunku gives the ball to Gusto. Gusto pulled back to Nkunku, and finally Ben White gets his foot on it and clears it away. But Chelsea definitely looking the most threatening in this first half. The ball is long by Caicedo down the left-hand side. It's picked up by Neto. Neto has got Ben White in front of him. Neto gets to the byline. He's trying to get the cross in. Ben White just blocking him. And Neto finally does get the cross into the back post, and a real chance for Gusto, and he heads it over the crossbar. Oh, what a chance for Malo Gusto. It was a header from about 3 yards out. That really should have been 1-0. It was a beautiful cross delivered in by Pedro Neto. Look at that, a free header. He was 3 yards out, but it cleared the crossbar. Oh, will Chelsea live to regret that chance? Oh, if you get the opportunity to look at this at your highlights reel tonight, what a chance for Malo Gusto. And as once again, just replaying it at all angles, how did he miss that? He had half the goal to aim at, but over the crossbar it went. Now, he was under, to be fair to him, he was also had the challenge on the back post to Kai Havertz to deal with, but I don't know, you might have expected him to put that away. Well, it's still 0-0. We've had 25 minutes gone. Apparently that Jay Rodriguez goal was his first goal of 2024. Thanks for that information, Ross. Reece James already warming up on the sidelines for Chelsea, as Malo Gusto may not be able to continue. As we look again at that challenge, he flung in at it. He might have just fallen awkwardly. It was actually Martinelli with a challenge. But you can see that it looked to me like he may have fallen awkwardly, but you could see the reaction of the Chelsea manager, Enzo Maresca, that he knows that should have been 1-0. Malo Gusto is on his feet again and will be able to continue. He'll have to go off for a little while, but that's twice now Chelsea have come so close to giving themselves the 1-goal lead in this game. Arsenal not really created a great deal in this first half, it has to be said. And, well, Neto just communicating with the bench there as finally the goal kick is taken and Arsenal now moving forward. And here's Jurrien Timmer. He's got Martinelli overlapping. Finds Martinelli on the left-hand side. Caicedo coming to meet him. Martinelli gets a cross in. It's cleared out to the edge of the area. Picked up there by Ben White. Here's White again. Drops the ball back to Saliba. Saliba gives the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. And it's now back with Ben White. Back to Saka again. Saka gets to the byline. Can he get the cross in towards the back post? Header won there by Caicedo. It was a good one. And here's Timmer. Timmer will have another go at crossing that in towards the back post, but that looked more like a cross-come shot. Not sure really what he was doing there. I think he got caught between the cross and the shot, and in the end it goes wide. And it's going to be a goal kick. Excuse me. Malo Gusto still limping. And the goal kick is taken here by Colwell. Is it Colwell? Yes, it's Colwell. Just drops it back to Sanchez, and Colwell gets the ball back. I've still never understood why teams do that, but Colwell's given the ball away. And here's Bukayo Saka. But Saka with a shot, it's blocked. Here's a chance for Martinelli. Super save by Sanchez. Oh, that was a super important save as Arsenal themselves come close. And now here is Nkunku for Chelsea. Cutting inside is Nkunku. Can he play? Oh, actually, that was Jackson. He gives the ball to Nkunku. I'm sorry. Nkunku's shot is blocked. And finally, it's cleared away by Ben White. And it's headed down now to Nkunku again. Timmer gets the ball in the face. He's down now, and the referee will stop play. But a terrible giveaway by Colwell that time led to that chance for Martinelli, but a vital save by Robert Sanchez. It's full time in the Championship game. Burnley win by 1-0. Not sure what that does for the table in terms of where Burnley are. They go up to 4 behind Leeds in 3rd place, 2 points separating those two sides. Look at that. That was such an important save somehow. And it was a very obscure piece of goalkeeping as well. He just sort of put his arm out and made the save. It wasn't. It was very unorthodox, if you would. But it was enough to make the save. And Arsenal not able to capitalise on their only chance in the first half so far. And Fofana plays the ball out wide here to Nkunku. Nkunku drops the ball back to Gusto. Oh, that's a really good ball to Caicedo, and across to Cucurella. Cucurella holds the ball up but drops it back into the Chelsea half of the field. Colwell slips the ball to Fofana. Fofana skips over the halfway line now. He's got Jackson in front of him. Instead he goes to Nkunku. Nkunku cuts inside here, gives the ball back to Fofana. Fofana tries to get the cross in, but it's a disappointing one, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And Chelsea and Arsenal stay at 0 apiece in this first half. 29 minutes gone, and both sides have had chances. Chelsea have had Cole Palmer forcing a fantastic save out of David Raya, and of course Gusto had that header on the back post, which, well, he really should have scored really. Here's Partey, cuts away from Caicedo, plays the ball across there to is that Kai Havertz in a very deep, no, that's Declan Rice in a deep position there. Gives the ball back to Partey again. And it's Declan Rice one more time. Rice holds the ball up, gives the ball to Timmer. Timmer just inside his own half of the field. And again, it's Declan Rice. Gabriel. Party. Gabriel. And that cuts aside away there. Well does Declan Rice. Good play by him. And the ball is over to Martin Odegaard now. Odegaard drops the ball back to Saliba. And he goes back to David Raya as Chelsea pressing Arsenal back here. And here's Declan Rice once again. Rice plays the ball to Thomas Partey. Partey holds the ball up just inside his own half of the field. Partey gives the ball to Gabriel. Back to Partey again. He's just inside the centre circle now. Well, Chelsea only one win in 10 against Arsenal. And that's a long ball forward now to Ben White, but cutting across well and making the challenge is Levi Colwill. He puts the ball out of play. And here's Bukayo Saka. Saka just skips inside, away from Pedro Neto, and almost gets away from Cucurella there. But the ball rolls behind for a goal kick. And Arsenal come close there. And, well, 1 win in 10 for Chelsea over Arsenal. You have to say the record has been wretched against the Gunners, but certainly look more likely to score in this game. And international break at the end of this game, of course. We have a game for you on the commentary hub on the international break. It'll be Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Germany. We'll be bringing that game to you. And the ball is a foul, in fact, there by Romeo Lavia, and it will be a free kick to Arsenal. And free kick is going to be taken here. The ball's played through to Havertz. Havertz with a chance, and he scored! Kai Havertz has given Arsenal the lead! Oh, it was a quick free kick by Martin Odegaard, and he played the ball through to Kai Havertz. Chelsea are complaining that the referee's whistle hadn't gone and it was too quick, but Arsenal have taken advantage of it and got the 1-goal lead at Stamford Bridge that they so desperately need. Well, Kai Havertz, let's look at this. The free kick was taken. Odegaard actually stepped away from it, and it was taken quickly by Declan Rice. Now, was Odegaard offside? That's the question. I'm sure VAR will look at it, but it was played through to Odegaard. They're looking at it now, and he might well be. If you look at the line, yes, I think he's offside here, Odegaard. I think this is going to get overturned. To me, he seems, if you look at using the line as a measuring point, to me, I think it's his left foot there that might be just in an offside position. I think this goal is going to get overturned. We'll see, of course, in a moment, but to me, that's offside. If we're going by the strict rule that we have these days, with these lining everything up and down to the last millimetre, you have to say he's in an offside position. But let's see what Paul Tierney and Richard West come up with. They've said he's offside, and the goal will be ruled out. So Kai Havertz's goal is ruled out on 33 minutes. Goal disallowed by Kai Havertz. Bitter disappointment for him, but I honestly don't think he can argue with that. It looked like his left foot was just in that offside position. So, excuse me. So it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. And it's still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. Pedro Neto has picked up his 4th yellow card. Just wonder whether he said something to the referee there. So Pedro Neto goes into the referee's notebook as the free kick is taken long downfield and goes over Pedro Neto's head and goes out of play for a throw-in to Arsenal. And Ben White with the throw-in. Throwing it to Declan Rice, who hooks the ball into the Chelsea half of the field, but it's headed out by Wesley Fofana. A throw-in for Arsenal, so that Germany game against Bosnia and Herzegovina that you can listen to on the commentary hub will be at 12:45 on Saturday that's Mountain Time, I'm sorry. It'll be 7:45 UK time if you're listening from the UK, 8:45 if you're listening from Central Europe. Here is number 25, Moises Caicedo. Caicedo has played the ball forward to Noni Madueke. Madueke knocks the ball back there to Gusto. Gusto gets it back to the goalkeeper. It's cleared downfield and somehow kept in play. Headed on there by Gabriel and out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea, taken quickly. Caicedo plays it back there to Fofana. Fofana gets it back to the goalkeeper and it's cleared downfield. And Nkunku goes down under the challenge from Timmer, and it's a free kick. And taken quickly, here is Nicholas Jackson. Jackson plays the ball down the right-hand side to Nkunku. Nkunku cuts inside, but he rolls the ball, gives it to Jurrien Timmer, and Nkunku fouls Timmer this time, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. We have 9 minutes to go till half-time. 0-0, goal disallowed for Kai Havertz for offside, and the referee, the VAR, in my opinion, coming to the right conclusion there in that decision. It looked like his left foot had just stepped into an offside position. And chances, though, at both ends in this first half so far. Not been a huge amount. Both sides sort of cancelling each other out, really. Cucurella gives the ball to Palmer. Palmer drop back to Cucurella. And here is Romeo Lavia. Lavia gets the ball there to Gusto. Gusto was looking for Nkunku, but the ball goes out of play. And the throw-in taken quickly by Arsenal. And here's Declan Rice as Arsenal looking to create one or two chances of their own now. Here's Jurrien Timmer. And plays the ball back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice to Thomas Partey. Cross to Rice. And to Partey again. To Ben White. Saliba, Rice, Timmer, Partey, plays the ball forward. Oh, he almost squeezed through there to Kai Havertz. That was won by Colville. A vital challenge there, and it's cleared downfield. And David Raya comes to meet this and clears the ball, but almost through ball there to Kai Havertz. It's picked up in the centre of the park by Caicedo. Caicedo again, this time gets the ball off Fofana. Caicedo just over the halfway line. And it's back now with Gusto, back to Fofana. And here is the number 6 there, Colwell, gives it to Cucurella. Cucurella to Neto. Neto goes down under the challenge of Ben White, and it's going to be a free kick. And Michael Oliver blowing the whistle there. Cucurella takes the ball. He was ready to play a quick one, but he wasn't able to. Eventually plays it back to Caicedo. Caicedo back to Colwell. Colwell back to Caicedo again. Across to Cucurella. Cucurella trying to get away from Bukayo Saka. That's quite a challenge. And Bukayo Saka nips in with a tackle. And a yellow card has been flashed in the face of somebody, to Ben White. Neto has gone down like he's been hit by a bus. Let's see exactly what happened there, but Ben White has picked up a yellow card. We'll just have a look at this one again. That just happened off of camera. Let's see here. Oh, there was barely anything in it. I mean, his arm was up, but he only made contact with his jersey. And he went down like he'd been hit by a bus. It's a second yellow card this season for Ben White. Neto on his feet again, all well and good. Surprise, surprise. 5 minutes to go till half time. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0, and Cole Palmer takes a shot on goal from that free kick from all of about 45 yards, and it's well wide. As impressive as Cole Palmer is, it would take something special to beat David Raya from that distance. Goal kick for Arsenal, and David Raya hands the ball to Gabriel, who's just no doubt going to play it back to David Raya, and Raya releases the ball now to the number 2 Saliba. Saliba back to David Raya, across to Gabriel. Gabriel, here's Timmer. Holds the ball up, plays the ball forward to Declan Rice. 50-50 there with Nkunku. Nkunku wins the ball and gives the ball to Lavia. Oh, this is Jackson. Jackson plays the ball to Nkunku. Across here to Cole Palmer. Oh, he just fails to control it. Had he controlled that a lot better, he would have had a chance. The ball breaks away for Bukayo Saka, but he's dispossessed of Cucurella. And Chelsea now coming forward once again. Here's Caicedo, gives the ball to Palmer. Palmer, ball across there to Cucurella. Cucurella drops the ball back here to to Levi Colwell. He goes back to Robert Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. He clears the ball downfield. It's a poor clearance, only as far as Gabriel, and he lays the ball off to Timmer. And just holding the ball up here is Timmer now, just looking for options left and right. The game's slowed down now to a crawling pace. Saliba across to Gabriel, across to Timmer again. Timmer just holds the ball up. And back to Saliba. Here's Gabriel. Oh, is that? I think that's Timmer again, actually. And he gives the ball to Partey. Partey holds the ball up. Timmer again. And it's across to Gabriel Martinelli, who drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, David Raya, and Arsenal just game managing perhaps till half time. It's a long ball there by Gabriel, but it escapes over everybody's head and goes straight through to Robert Sanchez in the Chelsea goal. And this has been a tight first half with a few chances for either side. Perhaps what we somewhat expected, really, a game that neither side can afford to lose, as the clearance forward is picked up there by Gabriel. Both sides are just making errors as well and giving the ball away. Here's Declan Rice inside the centre circle, gives the ball to William Saliba. Saliba back to Gabriel. Gabriel plays the ball down the left-hand side to Martinelli, who cuts all the way back inside his own half of the field and drops the ball back to Saliba. Saliba forward to Rice. It's Martinelli. And here is Partey. Partey, long ball over to the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka, who's got Cucurella in front of him. And Cucurella gets the better of that challenge, and it goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal. Taken quickly by Ben White. He finds Kai Havertz. Back to Partey. Partey lifts the ball over on the far side, headed down by Martinelli. And here's Declan Rice, back to Martinelli again. Can Martinelli get the cross in? No, he can't. That's a good block by Gusto, and he's actually in an offside position anyway, is Martinelli. So it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. As we take a look at Kai Havertz, just gives the ball to Partey there, and across to Martinelli. Difficult to tell from that angle. No, I actually think he's being kept on that time. But offside is the official's verdict on this near side, so we have a free kick for Chelsea. Mikel Arteta looking on. He's got options on the bench, and Chelsea, of course, have an abundance of options on the bench. They're looking at attacking options. João Felix, Christopher Nkunku on the bench, of course. And we'll see João Felix, Renato Vega, Mikhailo Mudryk also on the bench as well. Ball downfield just played on there. You can see picked up here. We're just looking again at the free kick there on Nicholas Jackson. He just goes down. He was sort of sandwiched in between Gabriel and Declan Rice. And the free kick is going to be taken. Cole Palmer standing over this. This is definitely his range and his territory. Gusto standing over it as well. And the free kick here, well, you've got Martin Odegaard laying down behind the wall. It's, Cole Palmer takes it, but it's straight into the wall. Here's Palmer again. He's dispossessed this time, and Kai Havertz now has the ball for Arsenal. He holds the ball up. He's under pressure here from Cole Palmer. We have 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. And it's a free kick. Is it for Chelsea or for Arsenal? Noni Madueke. The yellow card has been flashed in the face. Is it Noni Madueke for delaying the game? I think it is. So Noni Madueke goes into the referee's notebook for delay of game, and it's his second yellow card of the season as well. So Noni Madueke, the third Chelsea player to go in Michael Oliver's notebook in this first half. It's cleared downfield, and it's picked up here by Declan Rice. Declan Rice coming forward. Oh, he goes down under the challenge there of Romeo Lavia, but nothing given to the referee. The ball is played forward by Jackson. Jackson now holding the ball up. He's got Madueke over on the right-hand side, and he's had another free kick. It is. It's going to be a yellow card given, and I think this time it might be against Martin Odegaard, but Nicholas Jackson goes down under the challenge again, and I'm not sure about this one. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's Martin Odegaard. He might have caught it. Let's have a look. Oh no, he goes down very easily, does Nicholas Jackson. That is, he's won that. He's won that free kick, and we'll just see if there's another yellow card going to be dished out by Michael Oliver. Kevin Benson, hi Kevin, hope you're well. He says good to see City getting there just this time. Time for Arsenal to make a bid. Well, they'll have to make sure they win this game. And of course, they've had one goal disallowed in this first half by Kai Havertz for offside. Cole Palmer's going to get another bite at the cherry from a free kick. Noni Madueke going over to have a chat with him. Gusto standing over this too. This time it's much further out. It's about, perhaps about 30 yards out here. And it's going to be Cole Palmer again. Once again, it's into the wall. The Arsenal wall doing their job. Picked up by Romeo Lavia to Colwell. Colwell across to Gusto and gets the ball back. Colwell plays the ball forward looking for Neto. Neto fails to control that, and Thomas Partey picks it up and gives the ball now to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka drops the ball back to Ben White. Ben White across there to the number 2 there, Saliba. And Saliba gives the ball to Gabriel as we approach the 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. We'll see if the referee adds on any more. Here's Bukayo Saka under pressure by Cucurella. Good work from him. And now here's Caicedo. Gives the ball to Cole Palmer. Chelsea on the break now. And Cole Palmer finds Neto. Jackson's in the middle. Can Neto find him? Plays the ball across to Palmer, but Palmer is unable to control it. And it rolls through to the goalkeeper, David Raya. And that's it. That is half time here at Stamford Bridge. Chances for Cole Palmer, forcing a fantastic save out of David Raya. A free header on the back post for Malo Gusto was missed, and a goal disallowed for Kai Havertz for in an offside position. It's a tail of the tape at half time here at Stamford Bridge. It's 0-0. Just before I hand over to Russ, Kevin Benson says Leeds and Burnley doing well. We're going to hand you back to now our presenter, Russ Vernon.
Thank you very much there, Paul, James, and Paul. Just before we do let you go for your half-time break, and I run through the scores for everybody in case they missed any of the earlier scores so far today. Just give us your thoughts on the game as a whole. Do you think it's been what has been you think it's a fair scoreline, or do you think one of the managers will be disappointed not to be going into the break leading at this moment in time?
Well, I'd say the better chances have fallen to Chelsea. The chance on the back post there for Malo Gusto really should have been 1-0. Arsenal had the goal disallowed, of course, but only one other real chance of note, which was Martinelli forcing the good save um, from Robert Sanchez. But for me, it's been a fairly even first half, but I'd have to say Chelsea have probably shaded it a little bit.
Thank you very much there, Paul. We're back with Paul in plenty of time for the start of the second half. I'm going to run you through some of the scores from the earlier games today in the Premier League in case you missed it, plus also the scores in the Championship in England, the Scottish Premiership, and also some scores in and around Europe as well. So let's start off then in the Premier League. Early scores from the 2 o'clock kickoffs today. Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0. Nottingham Forest 1, Newcastle United 3. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Ipswich Town 2, the first win of the season for the Tractor Boys at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this afternoon. In the Championship, we finished in the Steel City Derby. Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. It was Hull City 1, West Bromwich Albion 2, and he finished Burnley 1, Swansea City 0. The J. Rodriguez penalty in the 94th minute sealed the deal for Burnley in the Championship. Burnley are now 2 points behind Leeds United and sitting 4th place in the Championship table. Leeds are 2 points behind Sheffield United and Sunderland doing the top two respectively on 31 points. Leeds on 29. West Brom won earlier today. They're on 25 points, level on points with Watford, who West Brom move into the playoff places. Watford drop down a place from 5th to 6th following the West Brom victory earlier today. Sheffield Wednesday, they remain in 15th on 18 points. Swansea remain in 11th on 19 points. Hull City on 19th now on 15 points. Level on points with Cardiff City, who sit in the bottom 3 now on goal difference in the Championship there. In the Women's Super League, so the women's version of the Premier League, you finished Liverpool 0, Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 1, Everton 1, West Ham United 1, Leicester City 0. Manchester United versus Aston Villa is an evening kick-off at 6:45. In the French Ligue 1, Nice 2, Lille 2, Le Havre 0, Reims 3 is the latest score, and is Montpellier 2, Brest 1, and Rennes 0, Toulouse 2. Lyon against Saint Etienne is an evening kick-off at 7:45 in the French Ligue 1. In the German Bundesliga, Augsburg 0, Hoffenheim 0. At half-time in the half-past-4 kick-off, same time as this one that kicked off, Stuttgart 0, Frankfurt 1 is the half-time score there. There's an evening kick-off in that game of Heidenheim against Wolfsburg at 6:30 this evening. Italian Serie A, Atalanta 2, Udinese 1, AS Roma 2, Bologna 3, Fiorentina 3, Verona 1, and after 25 minutes it's Monza 0, Lazio 0 is the latest score there. Dutch Eredivisie, Almere City 1, Feyenoord 4, Heerenveen 1, Go Ahead Eagles 0, FC 22, and 2, AZ Alkmaar 1, Willemsveer 2 in the 83rd minute in that game there as well. And in the Scottish Premiership, just to give you scores in there, finished Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 2, and it's going Rangers 1, Hearts 0 after 24 minutes there. In La Liga, he finished Real Betis 2, Celta Vigo 2, Real Mallorca 0, Atletico Madrid 1, Getafe against Girona is at 5:30, as is Real Valladolid against Athletic Club. And also Real Sociedad take on Barcelona at 8 o'clock this evening. That game is being shown in the UK on ITV4 and also Premier Sports as well if you want to watch that game, as we will not be bringing you that game this evening. So we've got some more great live coverage to come in next week. Next weekend we've got the international match between Germany and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Join Paul James for that one. 7:45 kickoff in the UK for that one there. We're now just going to take a quick break and we're back in plenty of time for the start of the second half Who will come out on top in this game? Will it be Chelsea? Will it be Arsenal? So far, it remains goalless. Let's see who comes out on top, shall we? Join us shortly for second half coverage of Chelsea against Arsenal with the scoreline 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. Welcome back to the start of the second half coverage of Chelsea against Arsenal in the Premier League today. The London derby between the Blues and the Reds. Chelsea against Arsenal taking place at Stamford Bridge. We're currently sitting in 0-0 at half time. Both teams had some chances. Chelsea, as Paul mentioned, with the better of the two chances. Kai Havertz did have the ball in the back of the net as well. If you're just joining us, it was disallowed for offside, and I think it was correctly given as offside as well. And I think that's what Paul you said as well. The teams are about to coming back out just in time for the second half. Right now, we're getting ready to hand back over to Paul in just a moment or so, as the teams are getting ready to come back out. But just before the teams do come back out, as we get ready for the second half, let me just bring Paul in for just a quick moment. And Paul, if I'll just ask you one quick question. At half time, if you were Mikel Arteta, with the options they've got on the bench to change things, you've got Zinchenko who can change things going forward, you've got Jorginho, Trossard, Jesus, Namweri as well, who's were good in games he's played this season. Which one of those would you be tempted to throw on first to try and help you get the edge over Chelsea in the second half?
I might be tempted to bring on Trossard, and possibly Nwanri as well, and maybe Mikel Moreno. If I was to make three changes, those would be the three that I'd make, and that would be for Gabriel Martinelli, Nwanri probably for Havertz, and Moreno for Thomas Partey probably.
Yes, and I'm surprised you didn't mention Gabriel Jesus in that there as well. Paul could potentially come off the bench for Arsenal and change the game for them.
I don't think Jesus is the one, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's the one that would make a difference in this game. Just my opinion. I mean, I'm sure other Arsenal fans will have different opinions, but for me, Jesus is not the one.
Okie dokie then, Paul. Thank you very much. For now, we'll get ready to hand back over to him then. So the next time you'll hear me is the full-time whistle of this game. Well, as the second half's about to go, now ready to get back underway. And time for me to hand over to Paul James for the second half action.
Thank you, Ross. Well, the players have not come out for the second half just yet, but roundabout in the first half, we saw some chances by both teams, as Ross suggested. For me, I think Arsenal didn't carve the type of chances that Chelsea carved. I think Chelsea definitely should have had the lead by half-time, especially with Malo Gusto. But I believe that Arsenal could come out and still make a difference in this game, still take this game. They've made no substitutes at half-time. The players are now out. Martin Odegaard, as the players are in a circle now, just doing their final preparations. Michael Oliver and the Chelsea team coming out, and Cole Palmer there for Chelsea. It doesn't look like they're making any changes either. So the second half is going to get underway with the same starting 11s for both sides, which you can see on your screen in front of you there. And Chelsea will get the second half underway, attacking the goal to our right, as Martin Odegaard, who had a quiet first half on his return, but I wasn't expecting. I don't think it's reasonable for Arsenal fans to expect miracles out of Martin Odegaard just coming back from injury in such a tough game. We'll see over the next few weeks how he progresses. Chelsea get the game underway then. Cole Palmer just sends it all the way back to Robert Sanchez as the second half is underway here at Stamford Bridge. Sanchez releases the ball downfield looking for the number 15 Nicholas Jackson. The ball goes out of play. Noni Madueke going over to take the throw in. In fact, he hands it off to Malo Gusto. Gusto drops the ball back to the number 29 Fofana. And there's Colwell, plays the ball across there to Lavia. Lavia to Cucurella. Cucurella plays the ball forward to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer often trying to get away from Thomas Partey. Can he get the cross in Palmer? Oh, he can. And that is a super take by David Raya, flying out of his goal to make the save there to stop that cross from coming in. Great piece of goalkeeping by the Spaniard. And Declan Rice now plays the ball to Thomas Partey. Across there to the number 4, Ben White. And here, Bukayo Saka back to Rice. White. Saliba back to the goalkeeper, and he releases it to Gabriel. Gabriel to Thomas Partey. He gives the ball there to Declan Rice again. Partey gets the ball back and gives the ball across now to Ben White. Ben White looking for options at the moment. Arsenal pinned into their own half at the moment. Here is Gabriel. Goes back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. Is he going to go for the long one now? It looks like he's going to do that. He goes long downfield looking for the chasing Kai Havertz. Gets up in the air. Chests that ball well down to Timmer. Timmer loses possession. There to Lavia. It's finally cleared away and headed down again, that time by Pedro Neto. And cleared into the Arsenal half by Cucurella. And now here's Neto. It's back to Palmer. Palmer plays the ball forward to Neto. Neto there has got Saliba in front of him. Cuts back, does Neto. Drops the ball back to Cucurella. Here's Lavia. Lavia across to Colwell. Now here's Gusto. Good ball down the right hand side to Madueke. Madueke gets to the byline. Can he get the cross in? Oh, he can, but it's plucked out of the air by David Raya. And he releases the ball there to Partey. Partey tries to clear the ball forward to Bukayo Saka. Good interception there by Cucurella, and Chelsea have possession again with Caicedo. Caicedo plays the ball across there to Pedro Neto. Neto drops the ball back to Cucurella. Across to Lavia. Here's Fofana now. He's about 35 yards out. Fofana. He drops the ball to Madueke. Madueke cuts back to the number 29 Fofana, and the ball goes across to Lavia. Lavia to Fofana. Midway inside the Arsenal half of the field. Fofana just plays the ball down the right-hand side again to Madueke. Madueke cuts inside now. Can he get the shot in? Noni Madueke, he does, but it's a disappointing effort and goes way wide and not so very handsome. Behind that goal. Arsenal. We've had 4 minutes gone at the start of this second half. It's Chelsea 0, Arsenal 0. Both sides trying to create opportunities, but once again, Chelsea just looking that little bit more crisp in terms of their passing and their build-up play. Here's Ben White, gives it back to the goalkeeper again, David Raya, who clears it downfield. Chested down by Kai Havertz to Bukayo Saka. Saka plays the ball forward to Odegaard. Back to Saka now. He's got Cucurella alongside him. Cucurella done a really good job on Saka in this game. And he checks back there, does Bukayo Saka, and plays the ball across to Declan Rice. Declan Rice down to Martinelli, down this left-hand side. Martinelli cuts back and gets across into the back post, and it goes over away from everybody. Nobody making that run into the 6-yard box as the ball goes just over everybody's head and behind for a goal kick. Media, radio, jingles and gaming. Looking back on the first half, I do think Chelsea did have a few better chances than Arsenal, as you rightly said at half-time, Paul, but let's see if we can see any goals in the second half from either side. Hopefully Arsenal, but let's see how it ends up. Well, indeed we must. At the moment, Arsenal now have possession of the ball. Let's see what they can do with it. Here's Timmer. Tries to set off Martinelli on his way, but it was a poor pass, and Gusto just nips in and cuts that ball out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal, and it's Jurien Timmer. One more time with the opportunity. Just throws it back here to Gabriel. Gives the ball there to the number 2, Saliba. Saliba, well, that's interesting pass back to Gabriel, and here is Martinelli. What Chelsea are doing very good in this game is they are just pressing Arsenal back here all the time. Here's Saliba, and it's a great ball though to Martinelli now. Martinelli cuts inside the penalty area. Can he get the shot away, Martinelli? He goes down under the challenge there of Caicedo, but the referee says play on. And here's Madueke. Noni Madueke's got Jackson alongside him. Jackson picks up the ball, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Jackson checks into the middle, dropped back to the number 27 there, Malo Gusto. Across to Lavia. Lavia gives it to Palmer. Back to Lavia. And here's Caicedo. Midway inside the Arsenal half of the field. And here's Caicedo again. And across there to Colwell. Colwell just picks up the ball, gives the ball to Cole Palmer. Palmer skipping into the penalty area. Good challenge that time by Saliba. And the ball goes behind for a Arsenal corner. Media Radio Jingles and Games says he thinks there's a goal in this, as both sides have made chances. I think that's very probable. But let's see if that actually happens. At the moment, Chelsea pressing Arsenal back, and Arsenal unable to really break out and create much opportunity at the moment. It's a corner for which Chelsea have here. Now Palmer will take it. Palmer, it's a poor corner headed out by Havertz, but only as far as Gusto. Gusto plays it all the way back into the centre circle. Robert Sanchez meets it and gives the ball to Caicedo. Caicedo across to Gusto. Gusto midway inside the Arsenal half to Jackson, and it's now to Noni Madueke. Madueke crosses it in towards the back post. Getting on the end of that is I think that was on the back post. I'm not quite sure who that was on the back post. We'll just take another look at that, and I think it's Fofana on the back post. Just wasn't sure who that was for a moment. Gets his foot on that, puts it over the crossbar. Under pressure by William Saliba, very difficult to divert that on target. You might call that a half chance, but once again, Chelsea looking dangerous going forward. The ball is cleared downfield, and Cucurella picks up the ball, but looks like Kai Havertz was in an offside position. And it's a free kick just inside the Chelsea half of the field. And that's a good ball there by Colwell. Colwell plays the ball to Cucurella. And just nipping in there and making the challenge was Ben White. It's a throw-in for Chelsea. Here's Cole Palmer. Looks for Nicholas Jackson. Getting in there with a challenge is Saliba. Chelsea still have possession of the ball, though. And here is Caicedo. Caicedo is dispossessed. Now let's see what Arsenal can do going forward. The ball over to Kai Havertz is a poor one and comfortably won by Fofana. And here's Lavia. And Palmer now. Good ball down the left-hand side to Neto. Neto trying to get to the byline and get the cross in. He checks back. Drops the ball back to Cucurella. And it's Palmer again. And it's picked up by Lavia. Lavia back to Palmer. And there's Neto again. Neto going to try to get to the byline and get that cross. And he does get the cross into the back post. Goes over everybody's head. But it's picked up here by Lavia. And the ball is played to Fofana. Fofana picked up by Gusto. Gusto plays the ball into the centre circle here to Colwell. Colwell plays it down the left-hand side now to Pedro Neto. Neto has got Ben White in front of him. He drops the ball back to Cucurella. Cucurella to Lavia. Oh, good ball by Lavia there. And there was an opportunity for Gusto. The shot was blocked. It breaks loose to Madueke. Madueke lifts the ball over the top, looking for Pedro Neto. Neto tries to play the ball across. It's blocked. It's with Cole Palmer. Second bite to the cherry. Crosses it in. But cutting it out of the air is David Raya. As, Gusto goes down. He's appealing for something. Nothing by the referee given. And here's Ben White. Gives the ball to Declan Rice. Can Arsenal break forward now? Declan Rice gives the ball to Gabriel Martinelli. Oh, he just gets away there from Noni Madueke. The cross coming in, but it's a disappointing one. And Cucurella clears it out of play for an Arsenal throw-in, level with the Chelsea penalty area down the left-hand side. And Cucurella complaining at the referee. And he's suggesting that it's been taken from the wrong spot. And the referee is going over again there to make sure it's taken from the right spot. This time there's a gash on Kai Havertz's face. Looks like he's bleeding there. He'll have to go off because he's got a head wound there. And he's being pushed by Moises Caicedo, who shouldn't be getting involved. And Kai Havertz does go off. He's been told to go off because of the cut on his head. And that looks pretty brutal. So the rules are he has to go off. And that has to be cleaned up and stopped. A yellow card for Kai Havertz, perhaps for the protest. And he now goes off and gets treatment for that head injury. He's arguing that he can still go on, but and probably will do after they've perhaps whipped a couple of stitches in there. But for the time being, he has to go off. You can't have blood on the face. And throw-in is going to be taken here by Jurrien Timmer. And is that a foul throw? Indeed it is. Or is he going to get the opportunity to throw it again? As a matter of fact, Chelsea is saying it's a foul throw. The referee's saying perhaps he wasn't ready. As we take a look at this again. In fact, he didn't throw the ball over the head, so it's not considered a foul throw. He's going to throw this one again. Timmer, just make sure he gets it right this time. Throws it to Odegaard. Odegaard by the corner flag, under pressure from Madueke. Finally, Gusto gets a clearance away, but only as far as Saliba. Gives it to Gabriel. It's now to Martinelli. Martinelli now has got options in front of him. And he just checks back. Martinelli gives it to Gabriel. Gabriel. He's just going to try to beat the number 11, Noni Madueke. And it's ran out of play by Jurrien Timmer as he's barged into as the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw into Chelsea in this case, I think. Kai Havertz should be allowed now back onto the field. And here's Odegaard. Odegaard tries to get the cross in, but there's nobody there, and it's a comfortable header by Levi Colwill. Heads the ball outside of the penalty area. Gabriel under pressure there from Caicedo. He was barged into from the back from the Chelsea captain, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Kai Havertz is back on now with a bandage around the wound, as that has been cleared up, and he's allowed to carry on. And the free kick is going to be taken just down this. It's right by the touchline. It's about 3 or 4 yards in from the touchline, down the left-hand side, about midway inside the Chelsea half of the field, and it's going to be taken by Declan Rice. Rice going to swing this one in. Kai Havertz is in there. Gabriel is in there. Saliba is in there. It's swung in by Declan Rice. That's too close to Robert Sanchez, and he just plucks that out of the air. That's meat and drink for the Spaniard. Robert Sanchez just holds the ball up now. He's not going to be in any particular hurry. Here's Gusto. Drops the ball back to Sanchez. Sanchez releases it to Colwill. Colwill plays the ball forward there to Pedro Neto, and the ball is now with Palmer. Palmer drops the ball back into his own half to Cucurella, to Lavia. Lavia is dispossessed, and now Arsenal coming forward with Kai Havertz down the right. Havertz pulls the ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard, what can he do with it? Plays the ball to Thomas Partey. Partey just turns away, gives the ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard lifts it into the back post to Martinelli. Martinelli with a shot, and he scores! And Gabriel Martinelli gives Arsenal the lead. Oh, it was a super delivery in by Martin Odegaard, and that is why Arsenal have missed Martin Odegaard. What a superb delivery into the box. I think Gabriel Martinelli may have thought he was in an offside position. Nobody was close to him. Such terrible defending. And Arsenal take a 1-goal lead in this second half. And it's Gabriele Martinelli with the goal. Well, Gabriele Martinelli, it's been a good season for him. That's his 3rd goal of the season. As we look at this ball in again by Odegaard, just read the run by Martinelli. He's well onside, and they fell asleep at the back. What a superb delivery by Odegaard. Martinelli was just able to take it down and beat Robert Sanchez at the front post. Could argue that perhaps the goalkeeper may have done better and shouldn't have been beaten there, but it was a tight angle, but Martinelli went for it anyway, and it is 1-0 to the Arsenal, and beautifully put away. And you have to say it's slightly against the run of play, really, but Arsenal, with their first real chance of this second half, just put away there, and Sanchez, I can't help feeling, will want that back. That was perhaps one he should have kept out. And it's Martinelli there, just runs the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw in for Chelsea. It's picked up in the centre circle. Gives the ball there to Wesley Fofana. Fofana plays the ball to Lavia. Lavia back to Colwell. Colwell across to Cucurella. Back to Colwell. Good work by him. Just holds the ball up. Plays the ball forward looking for Jackson, but it just rolls through to Gabriel. And Arsenal can break away now. It's a long ball by Gabriel looking for Martinelli. That'll be comfortably dealt with by Wesley Fofana. Goes back to Sanchez. Media radio jingles and gaming says completely agree, Paul. We've missed Martin Odegaard. Always great to have him back for Arsenal. What a terrific shot from Odegaard, who made that goal from Martinelli. Well, it really was. And here goes Ben White now, and he's fouled by Pedro Neto. And Pedro Neto can't believe it. He'll have to be careful. He's already been booked, of course. You can see here he just cuts across and pushes him over. Certainly not warranting a yellow card, but he does need to be careful. Gabriel drops the ball back to the goalkeeper. And David Raya now is probably going to take a little bit of time here. He launches the ball downfield, looking for that's Declan Rice, who heads the ball on to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka trying to get the better of Cucurella. He's not been able to the whole game almost, but here he goes now. Bukayo Saka, good challenge by Levi Colwell. Puts the ball out of play as the Chelsea fans letting Bukayo Saka know what they think of him. And it's going to be a corner to Arsenal, which Bukayo Saka will take down that right-hand side. And Saka has actually moved away from it now, but Arsenal, let's see who is going to take it. I have to say Mark Cucurella has done a tremendous job on Bukayo Saka. You just cannot underestimate how difficult it is to keep Saka out of the game in the way that he has done. That can't be underestimated. But here's Bukayo Saka now to take the corner, just in front of those Chelsea fans who are none too pleased. Corner. Havertz, Timmer, and Saliba are on that back post. Gabriel being marked by Neto again. Corner is going to come in as Neto is going to try and stop Gabriel from making his run to the 6-yard box. We know what he's capable of from there. The corner comes in. Oh, and Sanchez gets his foot on it. His hand on it and clears it. That almost went in directly from the corner. Here's Pedro Neto. Sanchez just got his hand on it. I think that was going in onto the corner there of the net, but Sanchez got his hand on it direct from the corner. And here's Wesley Fofana. Fofana across to Colwell. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1. We've had 65 minutes gone here. No changes yet from either side. The ball is played forward to Gusto by Fofana. And Gusto is fouled by Declan Rice, and it's going to be a free kick for Chelsea. The ball is across to Lavia. Lavia to Cucurella. Cucurella gives it to Palmer. Palmer, good ball over on the far side there to Noni Madueke. Madueke making his way to the byline. Can he get the cross in? He does swing it in, but it's cleared away by Thomas Partey into the air, but picked up again though by Fofana, who heads it down for Gusto. Gusto heads back into his own half of the field and gives the ball back to Robert Sanchez. Oh, and it's given away by Colwell. And here's Martin Odegaard now, and a real chance for Arsenal if they can get players in the box. Odegaard cuts inside, gets a shot away, but it's blocked by Colwell. But that's not the first time in this game he's made that mistake. This time he stops Odegaard, but Arsenal still have possession. Here's Gabriel. And it's now with the number 12, Timmer. Timmer approaching the penalty area. This is an amazing run by Yuri, and Timmer gets a shot away, and it's just wide. Oh, that would have been some goal by Yuri, and Timmer beats 3 Chelsea players and just gets a shot away there, which is narrowly wide of the Chelsea goal. And you can see here, oh, well, Sanchez was beaten, it has to be said. And down there right now is Romeo Lavia, and still 1-0 to Arsenal. He's going to receive some treatment. And just to give you an update, coming up on the commentary hub during the international break on Saturday, November the 16th at 7:45 UK time, 8:45 Central European time, Germany take on Bosnia and Herzegovina. That is at Europa Park Stadion in Freiburg, as Germany will attempt to secure a top spot in Group A League, in League A Group 3. We'll see if they're able to do that. Media Radio Jingles in Game says the play is getting better from Arsenal. Will we see a second Arsenal goal? Come on, you Gunners. Well, let's see. Martinelli is standing over it. We are going to see some changes now from Arsenal, from Chelsea. I think there's action going on the bench. The number 8 for Chelsea, Enzo Fernandez, is looking like he's going to make an appearance. Let's see who he's going off. He's coming on for Romeo Lavia. So Lavia is off and Enzo Fernandez is on for Chelsea, as this is the first change by either side in this game rather. And also the number 10 coming on for Chelsea, Mykhailo Mudryk. And I'm just trying to see who it is who's coming off. It's Noni Madueke coming off, who's run himself into the ground today. And coming on sporting a new haircut is Mykhailo Mudryk, wearing that number 10 jersey. And Chelsea now have the ball with Caicedo. Caicedo drops it back to Colwell. Colwell to Cucurella. Back to Colwell again. Still 1-0 to the Arsenal. 68 minutes gone. And here is Fofana. Fernandez gets his first touch on the ball as a substitute. Now it's back with Fofana again. Now he's got overlapping players. Now he's going on his own. He's Fofana though. And he is fouled. And that was a good run by Fofana. And we're going to get a free kick now for Chelsea. It's about 30 yards out, 35 yards out. It's a really good run. He had options left and right though, did Fofana, including Nicholas Jackson. He chose not to take that, but he won the free kick nevertheless. It's about perhaps 40 yards out, in fact, as it's Enzo Fernandez to take it. Fernandez going to whip this ball in, and he does, and it's headed up into the air there by Saliba. Palmer tries to clear the ball back into the box. It's it's Mudryk again who plays the ball in. It's flicked on and bouncing around there. It's finally picked up by Neto, who gets a shot away, and it takes a deflection and goes behind for a corner. And I'm going to have to try to distinguish between Mudryk and Palmer, as they both have very similar style haircuts. Cross coming in by Fernandez. It's headed on, but it's going to be picked up on the far side here by Malo Gusto. Under pressure by Saliba. Drop back to Caicedo. And it's now with Neto. Seems to have moved into a more central role with Madueke here's Neto again. Neto with a shot! Oh, it's 1-1! And just like that, Chelsea equalise. Pedro Neto. What a strike. And it must have been all of about 25 or 30 yards out. Pedro Neto ties this game up. And it's 1-1 on 70 minutes. And Arsenal, well, what do you do about that? They didn't close Pedro Neto down quickly enough. And he secures an equalising goal. Well, let's just look at this again. Neto moving into the middle with Mudryk moving over onto the right-hand side, moving over onto the left-hand side. But he just wasn't picked up here. Fernandes plays the ball to Neto. He's just not picked up here. It's about maybe 22 yards out, in fact, if I'm being honest. And, well, they didn't close him down, did they? They didn't close him down. Gabriel did not close him down quickly enough. The shot came in and beat David Raya to his left-hand side. Chelsea are level. And I think Mikel Arteta will be quite disappointed with that defending, if I'm being honest. It's 1-1. And Chelsea now level. Media radio jingles and gaming says Chelsea had to come back into it, didn't they? Well, yes, they did. But it was to be expected in a way, because for most of the game, they've created the better chances, but Arsenal, I think, also have created some good chances, and they're back on the offensive now, looking to regain that lead. It's a good challenge by Michaela Mudryk, and it goes out of play. Trossard is now on for Arsenal, and so is Moreno. I'm just trying to see who the substitutes are, because those came on without an announcement. Martinelli and... Okay, so it's Rice and Martinelli that is off. Rice and Martinelli off, and Moreno and Trossard are on. The ball is played into the middle. It's headed out, that time by Fofana, and picked up there by Bukayo Saka. Well, let's see how this second half continues to shape up now, with both sides making substitutions. Here's Partey, gives the ball out to the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka cuts inside, gets a cross in! Oh, Moreno almost got the touch, and Moreno got even the slightest touch there. That would have been 2-1 to Arsenal. A super ball into the box by Bukayo Saka. And, well, it was the first time in this match that he'd really shaken off Cucurella, because Cucurella has been stalking him this whole match. The slightest touch by Moreno, and that would have been 2-1. But as it happens, it goes wide, and Mikel Arteta looking on. We've got 18 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge. And here's Cole Palmer under pressure there by Thomas Partey. And the referee has given a free kick. And Mark Cucurella now is going to take it. Goes all the way back to Colwell. Colwell again. Ball played forward, looking it's headed down by Saliba. There was nobody else there. Moreno picks up the ball, plays the ball forward to Partey again. Got options left and right. Gives the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard to Saka. Saka getting to the byline. Cuts inside. Drop back to Odegaard. Odegaard crosses the ball in again. And there's a header! Oh, it almost bounces in there. And the header from Moreno. And, well, for a moment I thought that was going in. Let's take a look again. It's a wonderful delivery by Odegaard. And Moreno gets a header on. Havertz just not able to get a further touch on it. But Arsenal coming closer and closer. And here's Cucurella now for Chelsea. And turning away there is Cole Palmer. And the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal. That's Ben White just trying to get the ball off Cole Palmer there. But Arsenal now starting to create the better chances and really running through the gears right now. Here's Partey. Drops the ball back to Saliba. Ball played forward, looking there for the number 29, Kai Havertz. Havertz goes down, and it goes behind for a goal kick, and he's not going to get anything from the referee, and not going to get any sympathy from those Chelsea fans behind the goal. That's for sure. And it's going to be a goal kick for Chelsea. It's taken quickly, and it's back to Robert Sanchez, who clears the ball downfield. Up in the air, winning that is Gabriel, but he only finds Pedro Neto. Here's Gusto. Gusto plays the ball forward and Jackson is in one-on-one here against Raya. Real chance for Jackson. It's 2-1, but he is in an offside position. That goal won't stand. And a goal disallowed for Chelsea. Nicholas Jackson, let's just take a look. They'll look at it on VAR, I'm sure, but he is in fact clearly offside there. And Nicholas Jackson offside. Well, he's very, very quick, is Nicholas Jackson. We know that. And what an opportunity that would have been. And it was a cool finish as well by Jackson. Arsenal breathe again. And here is Thomas Partey. And it's played to over on this far side now to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard checks back. Both sides having a goal disallowed for offside. And here is Thomas Partey now for Arsenal. Picks up the ball in the middle of the centre circle. Just rolls it across now to Mikel Merina. Ball is played forward there. Looking for the run of Ben White, but that ball goes out of play and it breaks down for Arsenal. Lots of close chances and headers from Arsenal, but they're just not heading in, which does not show now that Arsenal are preparing to increase their play and chances to get another goal, of course. But powerful chances are coming in from Chelsea as well. Could finish even at the end. Well, media, radio, jingles and gaming, that's his comment. I agree with him. It could very well finish all time. But here's Neto again. This time he's blocked. And Kai Havertz nips in to try to win that ball back. And he's fouled. It's going to be a free kick. And Kai Havertz very well may have a headache in the morning. 77 minutes gone here. It's Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. And here is Saliba. Saliba drops the ball to Martin Odegaard. That's a good ball played over to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Saliba. Under pressure from Cole Palmer. Saliba just turns away from Palmer and gives the ball to Thomas Partey. Partey to Morena. Morena slips the ball to Odegaard. Oh, Odegaard tries to play Saka through, but good work by Cucurella again, who has really monitored Saka so very well in this game. Robert Sanchez clears the ball downfield. Headed on by Saliba. Finds Morena. Morena just turning away from Palmer. Gives the ball now to Thomas Partey. Partey tries to find Trossard, but that's won by Gusto. And Gusto sets Jackson off on his way. Down the right-hand side, Jackson swings the ball in, but there is nobody there. And chasing this one down is Modric, but it's picked up by Saliba. Saliba gives the ball to Moreno. Moreno is fouled. The referee says play on, you've got possession. Here's Thomas Partey. Across to Timmer. Back to Gabriel. Well, this game has certainly picked up in chances in the second half from the first half. But I can't help agreeing with media, radio, jingles and gaming. This may well end up as a draw, but we'll see. Here's the ball from Havertz. It's now picked up here, and the official's flag goes up, but the referee plays on. It's Odegaard. Good ball to Trossard. Trossard cuts inside. The shot is blocked. And it's out now to Jurrien Timmer. As Martin Odegaard, we're really seeing the best of him in this second half. Changing gears, picking up the loose balls, finding the important passes. And now here's Saka again. Saka's got Cucurella in front of him one more time. Can he get away from Cucurella? He does. He gets a cross in, but it's too close to Robert Sanchez. And it's Robert Sanchez who holds the ball. Media, radio, jingles and gaming says, well, Paul, as you are commentating on this game and you are trying to stay neutral, but as you're an Arsenal fan, I know you want Arsenal to potentially get a second goal to win this match. Yeah, secretly I do, but I've got to be neutral. So I always try to be neutral in these games. There's a yellow card now being flashed in the face of someone. I'm just trying to see who that is. Cucurella, in fact, is protesting at the official on the far side. We'll see who this is who this has gone to. Let's have a look. We might see. Oh yes, it's probably Cucurella's challenge there on Bukayo Saka that's earned him that yellow card. So Cucurella is the fourth Chelsea player to go into the referee's notebook. It's his 6th yellow card of the season. And you can see again here, he's still arguing. He needs to leave it alone at this point because there is, of course, a possibility that he could end up getting a 2nd yellow card as Bukayo Saka is back on his feet. And another substitution, it is Gabriel Jesus who is now on. I got to assume it's Kai Havertz who's come off, but no, it's Bukayo Saka, in fact, that has come off, and he's limping off, which is not a good sign at all. We hope that he's okay. But Gabriel Jesus is coming on in his stead, so I assume Saka will either go to the right side, not Saka, Havertz will either go to the right side, or he'll drop back into midfield, but we'll see. But I expect Gabriel Jesus to occupy that number 9 role. Ball is picked up there and played forward, but chasing this one down is Kai Havertz, who looks like he's still in that number 9 role. It could be Jesus who's gone over to the right-hand side, but we'll see how all this plays out as time goes on. Here's Cucurella. Ball played forward there and just nicked in and won back, but this is good work there by Cole Palmer, not by Cole Palmer, by Michaela Mudryk, who nips inside, but he's fouled. It's going to be a free kick. And we're going to see another Chelsea substitution as Reece James is going to come on for Malo Gusto. So Gusto is coming off and Reece James is coming on for the Blues. And, well, media radio jingles thinks that 1 goal will be enough to get the winner. Could very well be the case now, as we have 8 minutes left to go in this one. Very shortly I'll be having to name my player of the match. Here's Caicedo, gives it back to Fernandes, and that's a really good ball now to Pedro Neto. Neto drops the ball back here to Fofana, and it's across there to Colwell. Colwell plays the ball forward, picked up by Cole Palmer. Palmer trying to set Mudryk off on his way, and Mudryk is going to get there before David Raya, is he? No, super piece of goalkeeping by David Raya, just got there before Mudryk. And Arsenal now with Gabriel Jesus, the substitute. He's dispossessed by Cucurella, and here's Fernandes to Moises Caicedo. Caicedo across to Pedro, Pedro Neto, the Chelsea goal scorer. Neto cuts back, and it's crossed in by Reece James, but it's blocked. James again, picked up by Caicedo. Caicedo, good ball there, and it's launched into the box. It's flicked up in the air. Raya needs to get there. Here's Nicholas Jackson with the header, and David Raya falls on it, but the ball was up in the air and flapping away for a moment. There was David Raya before he finally got his paws on the ball, and now Arsenal can come forward. Here is Martin Odegaard. Odegaard plays the ball to Jesus. Jesus looking for options left and right, just drops the ball back to Martin Odegaard, and is Mikel Morena. Back to the number 2 there, Saliba. Ben White, back to Jesus. And it's across to Thomas Partey now, just on the halfway line. Thomas Partey to his Moreno. Moreno looking across the pitch there to the number 12, Jurrien Timmer. Timmer tries to play the ball back to Moreno, and a challenge from behind from Moises Caicedo. And it is a free kick, and he needs to be careful because he's also on a yellow card. You can see here, late challenge. Tries to just win the ball back there. Sensible refereeing not to really take any further action. But got a free kick for Arsenal in a pretty decent position here. It's at the corner of the penalty area, about 35-40 yards out. Odegaard and Trossard are standing over it. Looks like it's going to be launched into the penalty area. You've got to think whether this would be more Odegaard really than Trossard, but we'll see. It is going to be Odegaard, and he launches the ball in, and it's just headed out to the edge of the area, and it breaks loose for Timmer. Timmer just wins the ball ahead there, and he's in an offside position. and it's going to be a free kick. I'm just going to hand my player of the match over to my producer, Ross. There we go, Ross. You should have that now. And I'll be announcing that in about 4 minutes' time. As Robert Sanchez is about to take this free kick. And it's he's going to clear the ball downfield. Game tied at 1 so far. Chances for both sides, really, though. Here's Leandro Trossard. Ball played forward. And again, header won that time by Fofana. And again, Chelsea trying to come forward, but they've just given the ball away that time. And it goes straight through to David Raya. And David Raya is probably not going to be in a great hurry here. But Arsenal need the point, really. A draw, in my opinion, is not that helpful. Here's Leandro Trossard. And he's got Neto with him. He plays the ball across to Moreno. Moreno gives the ball away to Fernandes. Fernandes clears it. David Raya out quickly before Nicholas Jackson can get there. And that's a good piece of work by the Arsenal goalkeeper. Moreno gives it to Trossard. Trossard now attacking the Chelsea defence into the penalty area. Trossard, left-hand side, checks back. Comes back to Odegaard with a shot, but it's blocked. And picked up by Cole Palmer, but his control loses possession. Thomas Partey's control also loses possession. And both sides just giving the ball away right now. Finally, it's picked up by the number 9, Gabriel Jesus. Back to Thomas Partey. Partey gives the ball back to Odegaard. One more, another Arsenal chance maybe. And here's Kai Havertz. Jesus gets into the penalty area. Can he pull it back? Jesus Moreno with a shot. Good save, Trossard! He balloons it over the crossbar. What an opportunity for Trossard. Oh, he cannot believe it. What a chance. How on earth did he miss that opportunity? Let's look at this. It was a brilliant flowing move by the Arsenal. Jesus might have gone into an offside position. It was pulled back. A back heel by Moreno forces a super save from Sanchez. But there, with an open goal, the entire net, and he balloons it over the crossbar. And what an opportunity. Well, and Nicholas Jackson is off, and Christopher Nkunku is on for Chelsea to make it the 4th substitution on 88 minutes. Christopher Nkunku on wearing number 18. And, well, what a chance that was. Very similar to the Gusto opportunity in the first half. Really only just the entire net to shoot at. And now Arsenal have the ball back. And it's now with Declan Rice to Mikel Moreno rather, not Declan Rice. And it's back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. And, well, brilliant opportunity there. How did Trossard not score that? You might well ask, because I don't have an answer for you. There's Thomas Partey, gives the ball to Moreno. Moreno, challenged there by Pedro Neto. Moreno does well to keep possession, just about. And he's fouled, in fact, by Christopher Nkunku, the substitute. And it's going to be a free kick for Arsenal. The next stoppage in play, I'm going to announce the player, the man of the match. And here's Odegaard. Odegaard is dispossessed by Cole Palmer. And here's Cucurella now. And a good challenge by William Saliba, but it breaks loose and goes out of play for a throw-in to Arsenal. Ben White ravages the ball back off Marc Cucurella. And here is Jesus now, as Arsenal frantically looking for a winner. Time ticking down here at the bridge. It's Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. But the chance for Arsenal to win it may have come and gone from Leandro Trossard. It's now back with William Saliba. Saliba gives the ball to Jesus. Jesus turns. Is he fouled there? The referee says no. And now Chelsea are on the break. It's Enzo Fernandez. He's got Cole Palmer there down the left-hand side. Cole Palmer checks inside, drops the ball to Michaela Mudryk, who gives the ball to Moises Caicedo. Caicedo drops the ball down to Pedro Neto down this right-hand side. Neto checks back and drops the ball back into the midfield. We've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. Be announcing the player of the match, like I said, the next stoppage in play. Here's Caicedo. Drops the ball back there to the number 29, Wesley Fofana. And here's Caicedo. Caicedo drops the ball back to Fofana, who goes back to the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. And it's played forward here by Colwell. Chested down there really, really well in that time by Nkunku, but he's fouled. So let's name the man of the match today. Today's man of the match I'm giving to Mark Cucurella of Chelsea for his man-marking job that he did on Bukayo Saka. We'll get more into that in a moment. The cross comes in by Pedro Neto, and it's taken by David Raya. Yeah, so for the man-marking job that Mark Cucurella did on Bukayo Saka all the way through this game. Bukayo Saka had real difficulty for the majority of this game, and that is no mean feat. He's also been a lot of almost like a quarterback in the build-up for Chelsea's moves going forward. So today's player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Chelsea's number 3, Mark Cucurella. Here's Odegaard, plays the ball. He's challenged there, is Odegaard. It goes behind for a corner. And, well, it's going to be a corner to Arsenal. Let's see whether they can get anything in stoppage time now. We've played 2 minutes of injury time at the end of the 90 minutes here. It is still 1-1. As Arsenal setting up for another set piece to see if they can steal this one at the end. Corner to be taken on the far side. I think it's going to be Martin Odegaard. Played short here to White. White lifts the ball in. Oh, and a good header there that time by the number 6, Colwell. And Chelsea breathe again as there is an offside given there. And Arsenal now looking down the barrel at a draw here, I think. And they may not even get that now as Fernandez comes forward, gives the ball to Cucurella. Fernandez drops the ball back into his own half, and it's given to Caicedo. Back to Fofana, back to Colwell. What a performance it's been by both these sides in the second half. They've both thrown themselves at trying to get a victory, and so far it's 1-1. Here's Cole Palmer, and here's Michaela Mudryk. Michaela Mudryk gets the cross into the back post, but nobody there. And it's picked up by Leandro Trossard. Plays the ball forward. Chasing this one is Jurrien Timmer. And it goes out of play for the challenge by Moises Caicedo. There is 2 minutes left of minimum of stoppage time. We'll see if the referee adds on any more than that. Here is Trossard. Trossard cuts back and plays the ball across there to Moreno. Moreno to Odegaard. Odegaard dispossessed by Cucurella, who's been outstanding in defence today. Cucurella over the halfway line. He goes down under the challenge. Is the referee giving a free kick? He has indeed. Foul on by Martin Odegaard. Odegaard can't believe it. And what's the referee going to give here? Is he going to book Odegaard? I guess we're going to find out soon enough. No, it looks like it's just a free kick. And well, opportunity there. Cucurella, there he is, the man of the match. What a performance by him today. Absolutely superb. The ball is lifted over onto the far side there to Mudryk. Mudryk tries to skip inside Jesus. Jesus gets a challenge and it's going to be a throw-in. We're inside the last 30 seconds. It's last chance saloon for Chelsea. Here is Mark Cucurella now with the throw-in, level with the Arsenal penalty area. Back to Cucurella, and he goes down under the challenge, and it's a goal kick. Well, it's been a hard-fought game. I'm definitely interested in listening to Russ's views at the end of the game, because it really has been I think a draw, really, in my opinion, is the right result. If we're talking about from a neutral standpoint, here is Gabriel. Back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. Raya, and just turning away nicely there is Morena. Picked up again. And just holding the ball up is Moreno. He lifts the ball forward. Here's Jurrien Timmer. Maybe one last chance for Arsenal. Jurrien Timmer gives the ball there to Trossard. Trossard across to Odegaard. Odegaard, oh, really good ball to Saliba. Played across. Oh, it's just missed by Kai Havertz on the back post. Oh, another fantastic chance for Arsenal. The ball was played through there to Saliba. Saliba was onside. It was played across, and oh, it looks like it got a touch off. I want to say it got a touch off Trossard first, which actually took it away from Havertz. And, well, Arsenal frustrated at that. How close do you get? Mikel Arteta collapsing at that. And it's full time here at Stamford Bridge. And goals in the second half from 60 minutes from Gabriel Martinelli from a wonderful pass by Martin Odegaard. Pedro Neto equalised with a superb strike from 27 yards out. But chances, a gilt-edged chance for the substitute Leandro Trossard, who ballooned it over the crossbar. And right at the end there, another golden opportunity was missed. And the frustration on the Arsenal faces as this game ends. But I think at full time, a draw is the right result. It's 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. Excellent commentary this afternoon on this brilliant game that we've just witnessed here at Stamford Bridge. I think if you just look going back to that last minute chance there, which could have won it for Arsenal, I think if Trossard had missed it and Havertz had put it in, I do think the goal would have probably been chalked off, because I think Havertz had just gone that fraction early and was in an offside position as the ball came across the face of the goal there. So unlucky though for Arsenal. They had chances to win it. Chelsea had chances to win it as well. I did message in privately to Paul during the country. I was surprised when he gave me his player of the match choice today, which was given to Marco Correa of Chelsea. I would probably give it, if I was doing this, I would probably give it to David Raya of Arsenal for keeping Arsenal in the game, especially in the first half when Chelsea had the chances and just shaded the first half. And for me, David Raya kept Arsenal in that game and ensured that they come away with a draw in that game. He could not do nothing about Neto's strike as well. In my opinion, David Raya would have got my player of the match there for keeping Arsenal in that game and getting them a positive result. When at one stage with the first half performance, it looked like they've not got a result out of this game this evening. And the TV people here also gave the match to Marco Correa as well, but in my opinion, I would probably give it to David Raya. We'll bring you the full classified check from the Premier League later, but we'll run you through the scores again from the rest of the division. Get the thoughts of Paul on the overall game, then we'll also go from this now after City dropped points yesterday. Liverpool won yesterday as well. Just a little teaser there for the scores that'll come through later on in the programme for the Premier League this weekend. Well, let's start off then in the Championship. It finished Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Hull City 1, West Bromwich Albion 2, Burnley 1, Swansea City 0. In the Women's Super League, which is the top tier in the women's game, Liverpool 0, Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 1, Everton 1, West Ham United 1, Leicester City 0, Manchester United versus Aston Villa is a 6:45 kickoff. So in around about 15 minutes time, that game will be getting underway this evening. In the Women's Championship, Southampton 1, Durham 1, Bristol City 2, Newcastle United 0. Bristol City finished the game with 10 players. London City Lionesses 1, Birmingham City 2, Portsmouth 1, Sheffield United 1, Sunderland 2, Blackburn Rovers 1 in the Women's Championship there. In French League 1, we finished Nice 2, Lille 2, Le Havre 0, Reims 3, Montpellier 3, Brest 1, Rennes 0, Toulouse 2, Olympique Lyonnais take on Saint Etienne at 7:45 UK time this evening. In the German Bundesliga, Augsburg 0, Hoffenheim 0. What a game at Stuttgart. Stuttgart 2, Frankfurt 3 in that game. It was 0-0. It was 1-0 to Frankfurt at half time. Frankfurt went 3-0 up, and two late goals was not enough. And they did have a goal disallowed in stoppage time, Stuttgart. They could have got a draw with offside against Furich. Made it finish 3-2 to Frankfurt. Heidenheim and Wolfsburg underway. 3 minutes gone there, still goalless in that German Bundesliga game. In the Italian Serie A, Atalanta 2, Udinese 1, AS Roma 2, Bologna 3, Fiorentina 3, Verona 1. 15 minutes left to play. Monza 0, Lazio 1. And in the AS Roma game earlier on today, they lost by 3-2 against Bologna, and that also saw the end of the Roma boss, who is Ivan Juric, the Croatian, 49-year-old Croatian. He was sacked after that game. This, after a bad run of form for Roma in Serie A, sees he take the bullet and get on the chopping board with a sack in there. In the Dutch Eredivisie, finished Almere City 1, Feyenoord 4, MV 1, go ahead, Eagles 0, FC 22, Ajax 2, is it Alkmaar 1, Willemsvee 2 is a full-time score there. In the Scottish Premiership, Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 2, Rangers 1 up against Hearts. 73 minutes gone there. In that game, Rangers 1, Hearts 0. Spanish La Liga, Real Betis 2, Celta Vigo 2, Real Mallorca 0, Atletico Madrid 1, Getafe 0, Girona 1, Valladolid 0, Athletic Club 0, or Athletic Bilbao, to be the name that we probably all know it by. Real Sociedad against Barcelona is at 8 o'clock kickoff this evening. That is on the TV in the UK. If you're in the UK or wherever you are, you should be able to get that game if you want to watch Barcelona tonight away to Real Sociedad in La Liga. We'll give you the full classified check from the Premier League in just a few moments' time. But before we do that, let's just bring in your match commentator for this evening's game. Paul James has been doing the excellent commentary like he always does on Premier League games and on Arsenal games as well. And we'll give you the classic table check as well after we've just had a quick chat here with Paul. And Paul, just give us your overall thoughts in the game then between Chelsea and Arsenal. Obviously, you said it's a fair result. Why do you think that was a fair result? Because for me, if it wasn't for David Ray, Arsenal probably could have lost that one today.
Well, no, I don't agree with that at all. Yes, David Ray made some vital saves, but Arsenal had two chances at the end that they could have won the game. Leandro Trossard ballooning over the crossbar, and of course, if Leandro Trossard had left that second one, Havertz would have had a tap in. Now, whether or not it would have been offside or not, we're never going to know. But it's nevertheless, I don't think it's fair to say that Chelsea should have won that game. I think a draw was the right result. I think he did make some good saves. Did David Ray, particularly the one in the first half on Cole Palmer. But I think for me, a draw is the right result today. I think neither side took some chances that they had. So neither side, in my opinion, deserves to win it. From an Arsenal fan's perspective, I will tell you here and now, we need a striker like nobody's business, because that just proved it at the end. That the chances that Arsenal had there at the end, they shouldn't have come away from a draw, but you don't take your chances, you don't deserve to win. I've always said that. And I think 1-1 for that reason is the right score.
Yes, and Paul, you just touched upon there on Arsenal. You say they need a striker. I'm just going to ask you, where do Arsenal go from here now? Obviously, lot the not doing very well in the doing fairly well in the Champions League, dropping down a few places in the Premier League of Arsenal at this moment in time. Where do you think he's going wrong for Arsenal at this moment in time, Paul? And where do you think he's not clicking at this moment in time?
Well, I think they've missed Martin Odegaard. I think that they really have missed him. I almost liken his need at Arsenal for City's need of Rodri. I liken the two very much to very similar. And you could see it today that Arsenal were able to create more chances with Martin Odegaard in the side. His ball to Martinelli, the assist on the opening goal of the game. Obviously, he's not back to full swing yet. You're going to see that in the next few weeks. In the first half, he was very absent in the first half. I don't want to say absent. That's not fair. I'm not going to use that word. I'm going to say he was very quiet in the first half. In the second half, you really saw the classic Martin Odegaard creating the chances, providing piercing balls through the defence, and starting Arsenal moves. They just need a striker. They desperately need a striker. That's what's missing right now.
Yes, and just looking at Arsenal's past six results in all competitions here, Paul, they've got a draw against Shakhtar on the 22nd of October. They beat Shakhtar 1-0. They then got a draw against Liverpool 2-2 on the 27th of October. Then beat Preston in the EFL Cup 3-0. It was then 1-0 a defeat against Newcastle on the 2nd of November. A 1-0 defeat against Inter Milan, and then a draw here today against Chelsea. So that's 2 draws, 2 wins, and 2 defeats in the last 6 for Arsenal. A bit of inconsistency starting to creep in on Arsenal. Do you think that could be a sign that says, I know Man City is struggling as well and lost form in the spin, but Liverpool top of the table now. Do you think this would have formed that Arsenal have had 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 defeats? One of the defeats has been in the Champions League. One of the wins have been in the Champions League. So take those out of it. So a draw against Liverpool, and a defeat against Newcastle, the draw today, the loss to Bournemouth in the Premier League. So in the Premier League, last few matches in the Premier League, beat Southampton, drew with Bournemouth, drew with Liverpool, lost to Newcastle, and a draw today. Do you think this would have inconsistency where failing to pick up wins, especially say against Bournemouth, where you'd have expected Arsenal to get a result in, maybe same against Newcastle? Do you think those would have formed those inconsistencies is starting to creep in Arsenal's play now?
Well, they had this last season and the season before where they went through periods of inconsistency. I actually think a lot of it is due to the injuries that Arsenal have had, the injuries and suspensions in recent weeks that Arsenal have had. A lot of people forget that. They've lost a lot of key players. Now, today, Chelsea was never going to be an easy match. This is a good team. This Chelsea team is very, very good. They've got depth, they've got quality. If you look at Caicedo, you look at Neto, you look at Palmer. People look at Palmer and say, Palmer is the key for Chelsea. Well, that's probably true. But, you've got Caicedo, you've got Jackson, you've got Madueke, you've got João Felix, who didn't even come on today. You've got Nkunku, Fernandes, Reece James. They've got quality all the way through that Chelsea side. This was never going to be an easy game for Arsenal today.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely, never going to be easy. But is this sort of game? I know, not this one here, but the game against Bournemouth, say against Newcastle. I know Newcastle have been on a good run of form at the moment, but say against Bournemouth, Newcastle as well. Those sort of teams, those sort of teams you expect, say Arsenal to be beating, and to have lost to both Bournemouth, especially Bournemouth and Newcastle. Those sorts of results could see them slipping up in, say, losing ground in race for the title, Paul, potentially.
Yeah, of course. I mean, those are bad results. A lot of it down to injuries, suspensions, missing key players. Um, those are bad results, but you have to keep going. You can't just say, "Oh, well, that's it. Now the title's over." You've just got to keep playing. You've got to keep. You've got to take the next game, and you've got to win the next game, and you've got to win the next one after that, and the next one after that. You can't just put your hands up and say that's it. I agree with you. These days, you do need 90 to 100 points to win the championship. In most cases, and you can't afford to really lose like 2 or 3 or 4 games anymore, and still win the title. But you've just got to keep playing football and hope the other teams slip up. You can't just basically throw the towel in November.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. And it's been interesting to see where Arsenal go from here now. Obviously, as I mentioned, it's now going to be the international break. As we've been mentioning when they come back off the international break, we come up against Nottingham Forest. I know Forest have slipped up in their latest game, which I'll mention the results against Newcastle in a few moments' time. But they've got so the next few games for Arsenal coming up. In this is just in the Premier League. They've got Nottingham Forest, where yes, I know Forest are so well, so that'll be a tough game for them. They went to Anfield and won the Nottingham Forest a few weeks ago. West Ham was in all sorts of form at the moment. Manchester United as well under new boss. I mean, we don't know what he's going to do, and I mean, actually going to look under him as of yet. They've then got Fulham who are trying to pick up some good results, and then he goes into the busy Christmas period with Everton at home where they expect Arsenal to win. Palace away, not normally a tough place to go there for Arsenal on recent occasions. And the 27th of December, just after the Christmas Boxing Day, the period, Ipswich at home, and Ipswich, you probably say on paper that would be a win for Arsenal, but when how well they did today against Spurs, and I'm going to probably leak how they went on against Spurs, but that performance against Spurs today, if they can play that consistently, Ipswich, and say against these so-called bigger teams where they're not expected to get results, and if they do, it'll be a shock for not just the team they come up against, but for the Premier League as a whole. Maybe this is the sort of game they run there. There's some tough games on paper there, Paul. Where do Arsenal go next from there?
Got to try to win the games. That's all. You just got to try to win the games, and hopefully try to pick up a striker in the transfer window. I know there was rumours circulating around Alexander Isak. I think he would be an ideal signing. But you've just got to you just got to keep trying to win the games. There's nothing else you can do, and hope that you don't pick up too many injuries of key players. At the end of the day, everybody is in the same boat. Liverpool, Manchester City are all there. They've all got to play some of these teams, and some of the games that they have played, Spurs losing today against Ipswich. Um, Liverpool have lost to Nottingham Forest. These slip ups can occur if they don't remain focused. The only thing that you have to do is remain focused on your own performances and not worry about anybody else.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. Just one final one then. I'm going to put in Mikel Arteta's shoes right now. You probably sat in the dressing room with your players, talking to your players after that game. You're Mikel Arteta. Give me one thing you'd be saying to your players right now in the dressing room.
I'd be looking at the 2 chances that was missed. I'd be happy with the way that Arsenal played. I think for the most part, Arsenal played very well. But the missed chances is an age-old story. And it's something that is going to be looked at again and again and again. Yes, we definitely need a striker. There is no question about that. But any professional in any kind of attacking role should have scored those goals today. Like Leandro Trossard should have scored. Leandro Trossard should have left that ball for Kai Havertz to score. It's at the end of the day, any player in attacking position should have scored today, and that's what I would point to. I point to the missed chances again. I'll be looking at. I'll be saying, yeah, it was a really great performance all round. You created chances. You worked hard. You had the build-up play. You defended quite well for the most part, but when the chances came, you didn't take them, and that's why we're leaving Stamford Bridge today with 1 point instead of 3. That's what I would say.
Yes, thank you very much there, Paul. And I think you summed that up brilliantly there. Well, I think would be Mikel Arteta will probably be saying to his team as well. And let me just round you out then with the scores from the Premier League this weekend, then, shall we? Starting off with Saturday, the 9th of November 2024. Brentford 3, Bournemouth 2. Brighton Hove Albion 2, Manchester City 1. Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 2. Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. West Ham United 0. Everton 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Southampton 0. Going on to Sunday the 10th of November 2024. Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1 in your live commentary game here on the Commentary Hub. Manchester United 3, Chelsea. Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0, should I say. Nottingham Forest 1, Newcastle United 3. And Tottenham Hotspur 1, Ipswich Town 2 is the results there in the Premier League. Let me just quickly run through the Premier League standings now and how the table is looking now after that game, these round of fixtures this weekend, which is the game week 11. Starting off in the bottom half of the table, Southampton are bottom of the table on 4 points so far, 2 points behind Wolves. They're now in 19th position, are Wolves on 6 points. Crystal Palace have dropped into the bottom 3 on 7 points. Ipswich Town, after their first victory of the season, moves into the 17th position out of the bottom 3, and put Crystal Palace into the bottom 3 with that scoreline there as well, and move Wolves down place as well. Everton are in 16th on 10 points. Leicester in 15th on 10 points following their 3-0 defeat against Manchester United earlier today. West Ham in 14th on 12 points. Manchester United are in 13th on 15 points. Bournemouth in 12th on 15 points. And Brentford in 11th on 16 points. That brings you the bottom half of the table. Now let's look at the top half of the table then. Tottenham Hotspur slipped down to 10th, with Newcastle moving up a couple of places to 8th. Tottenham in 10th on 16 points now from their defeat against Ipswich. Aston Villa dropped down to 9th place as well on goal difference. Newcastle moving above them, with them beating Nottingham Forest by 3-1 earlier. Fulham in 7th on 18 points as well. Brighton up to 6th for their win over Manchester City yesterday. They're now on 19 points. 11 points with Nottingham Forest and Arsenal. Nottingham Forest in 5th now, with Arsenal moving above them on goal difference. Chelsea are in 3rd on 19 points as well, so it's very tight at the top end of the table. Manchester City are 2nd on 23 points, and on 28 points, 5 clear of last season's title winners Manchester City sit Liverpool. 9 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat from their opening 11 games, plus 15 goal difference. 28 points for Arne Slot's Reds, who sit top of the table in the Premier League going into the international break. Keep an eye out on the socials. We're next will be live on the channel with some commentaries during the week as well. Maybe bring you some games during the week with, as I believe, if I just double check and before I give this out, I do think, and I'm just going to double check this, there is some games in midweek from the Bristol Stream Motors Trophy action which is for the League 1 and League 2 sides up against the sides from the Premier League 2, so the games in there, so we may try and bring you some of those. Those are some Women's Champions League games as well. Stockport County take on Tranmere, so maybe some whip you midweek action on the commentary to check out the socials. I'll tell you where those are going to be, so we may have some action in midweek. But if not, join us back here next Saturday evening for live coverage of Germany's game against Bosnia and Herzegovina at 7:45 in Group 3 League A of the Nations League. Join Paul James for that one, and we'll hopefully as well next week bring you the North London derby in the women's form as Spurs take on Arsenal at 1:45 next Saturday afternoon. Make sure you join us for that as well. We'll also try and bring you some League One action as well as some games taking place in League One next weekend. Exeter against Lincoln, Blackpool against Northampton, Bristol Rovers against Crawley, Cambridge against Barnsley, Charlton against Peterborough in League One, and Stockport against Wrexham as well. Try and bring you some of those actions next weekend as well. So maybe a couple live action next weekend on the channel as well. So make sure you're sticking tuned to listen out for those as well. Stay tuned to our Twitter feed at Commentary Live 1 to find out when we're going live next. Well, that's all we've got time for right now. From myself, Wes Vennon, excellent commentary today from Mr. Paul James as well. Thank you very much for joining us today, Paul, as well. And thank you to the listeners for joining us as well. Media, radio, and jingles and gaming. Thank you very much for getting your comments in throughout the afternoon. We really do appreciate that. And also Kevin Benson as well. Thank you very much for getting your comments in there today. So from myself, Wes Vennon, from Paul James and the rest of the team here at the Commentary Hub, well, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Goodbye for now.